Hello everybody, welcome to Red Tool House. On today's video, we're going to try to do some function stacking here, multitasking. So we've got our road going back to the retreat that this portion stays pretty wet all the time, even in the heat of the summer. So we're going to try to dry it out by taking out some of this canopy. And of course, as we take out that canopy, we want to chip it up and produce wood chips for the chicken church, who turn that into compost for our garden. So let's get to chipping. So you can see with this stretch of road, the sun's trying to peek through, but there's some tall stuff that we're going to leave, of course, but there's a lot of smaller understory that if we can get that cleared out, not only can we get some sunlight in here, but we can also help get the breeze going, and that would help dry out some of this section of road as well. So some places where I'm using these smaller ironwood trees and things to use as my electric line going back to the boar netting, we'll leave those. We may just top them. Pollardine, or no, coppicing would be the proper term, I think, for that. And they should still survive, but it'll get some of that out of there. All right, that worked out pretty well. Kelly's wrapping up the last of the treetops, and you can see how much we've opened this up. And what's really nice is we've opened up this little corridor even up the hill. So in the morning sun, we'll be able to come through that. And it is amazing don't know if you can see the leaves moving, but the amount of breeze we're now getting, it's kind of opened it up and made it almost like a little bit of a wind tunnel. We still have obviously all the high canopy trees there, all the big white oaks, but it allowed us to take the small stuff out and still leave all the big stuff intact. You can see here where I coppiced the 2 trees I was using for my fence post, and I of course dropped the multiple trees across the wire. Didn't break the wire, but broke a couple insulators, so we'll have to fix those. But now the trailer is pretty much completely full. Now the trick will be to see if I can get it up the hill with the side-by-side. That weight, fortunately the road's dry, so it shouldn't be too muddy. 4-wheel drive should get me there. All right, so I haven't finished my fence yet, but where I just pulled in would be the gate that I'm supposed to pull in to unload my wood chips. So that part works at least. And we're going to dump chips here on the surface of the moon. And one thing about, again, we're trying to build compost here as we cut away underbrush and things that are getting in the way. The poplar slabs, that's for something else. But the idea of chipping green is a little bit harder on the chipper because the green branches can get wrapped around the axle and can clog the things up. Obviously all the green leaves, juicy leaves cause issue. But man, you talk about some great compost starter, and the chickens just absolutely love it. They're looking for green right now. So when we dump this in there, they're just going to have a field day with it, being able to pick through it and pick all those leaves bits out, and they'll scratch quite a bit of this around. All right, so in 24 hours, I came up to check the pile to see how they had done spreading around. And this is after just 24 hours that you see here in this footage. So they definitely went to work on it. Now, where I'm standing right now, at the time I'm standing right now, is a full week later. So Saturday to Saturday, so I guess 8 days. So you see here where they have just completely spread it out. There's actually about a nice 2-inch carpet of chips everywhere, down about halfway. And of course the green leaves have started to decay or started to turn brown. So you can kind of see they're dying out, but there's still a lot of the little twigs and of course the big chunks. But it's just amazing, how that is breaking down that quickly. Of course they're pecking through it, they're pooping on it, that ammonia, that nitrogen's doing what it's doing with the carbon. As the green material releases all of its stuff and dries out, there's, the ground is staying moist underneath. It's been really hot today, but the ground is staying a little cooler and a little more damp. And what's really neat is this is after we had, I was out of town, but Kelly said midweek we had a frog choker, and normally we'd have a pretty good stream of water that would run down and possibly even cause a little bit of erosion in here. And now already the wood chips, not only were they not washed down, but there's no sign of any erosion here. So they're being kind of knit together with all these little small branches and stuff, are really helping keep from promoting erosion there. So really excited about that. So that's what I like, is when we can kind of permaculture-esque do function stacking there. So the diesel that we burned up and the gas that we burned up running the chainsaw to clear the road, open it up and make it drier. So all of that work and input that went into that, the byproduct was all this wood chips that's going to help inevitably make more food for us. It's going to produce better soil so we can grow more food in our garden. All along the way of giving our chickens something to do and something for them to scratch through and something to absorb their manure. So you just think of all the paths this is going through. So clear road, manure absorption. Joel Salatin would call it the carbaceous diaper. So the manure absorption that then breaks down the carbon, turns into good soil. That soil ends up in our garden, that then supplies us with better food or higher quality food or more food on down the road. So I really like that. I just think that's neat, that there really isn't anything wasted in this process other than burning some diesel and gas. All right, well, comment below. Let me know what you guys think. I really appreciate everybody watching. Y'all take care.